Oh, I am live. What's up, you guys? It's been a long time. It's your girl, Cynthia, with Curry by Cynthia and the Fashion Code. I want to be like those girls on TikTok. SMR. What has been going on? It's been a while, y'all. I have a lot to tell you guys. So much to transmit. I just did my year compass that my therapist recommended for me to do, which is to look back on last year and then to focus on how I'm going to thrive for this year. So, in the midst of the Arctic blast, in true Santi Coleman fashion, I will be working on a project. Specifically, I did this, actually, the snowstorm that was here in New Orleans. If you guys don't know, I'm based in New Orleans. I am Santi Coleman, a fashion technologist uh, for the southern region, for the southeast region of the world and beyond. But last Arctic blast, it was a snowstorm, and I remember I created my first, what was it called? Oh my gosh. Those little independent magazines. I made oh God, what was it? What was it called? I can't think of it. But it was like a paper magazine, a zine. I made a zine. I made my very first zine, and it was so therapeutic. I remember I was dancing. I made like a whole snow skit with my dog. It was all the vibes. But here we are again in Arctic Blast. And so, in true Santi Coleman fashion, I will be working on my studio. So, I decided, if you guys don't know, I worked in the beauty industry. That was my first job ever. I worked in the hair salon with my mother. And something that I wrote about here on Curated by Cynthia was like, I don't know if I published my real estate story, but there's going to be a lot of beauty references always. But I decided to cancel one of my retirement plan dreams, which was to just be a full-time nail tech on the road in a cute little what is it, Airstream, and like sell my herbs and just like live by the beach. And then I had an opportunity to kind of complete that. And I wind up saying, you know what? I've changed my mind. It's not for me. But I still love all things beauty. Me and my friend and nail tech architect Julie, who does my nails. Okay. They're illuminated like my keyboard. They actually glow in the dark. We have made this epiphany even in our own separate businesses. We've done a lot. And we've closed a chapter in the beauty industry simultaneously and together as we worked together last year to pivot our business strategies separately. And so a lot of things, the chapter had ended for me. So I am currently packing up my nail studio that was in my home. I am packing it up, and I have moved the desk into the Maven Lab. So if you guys are not subscribed to my other publications, the Fashion Code and all the content was created right in here. But I needed to have some synergy, and I posted another live last time that talked about me cleaning up this closet, which I did. So now I am setting up some podcast equipment. So let me give you a speed. I am a systems architect. I am in the fashion tech space and education. And so the project that I'm working on is coming to an end. And so with that being said, was in a couple of other projects that included, podcasting and recording students. And I've started a fashion tech club, and I partner with Girls Who Code in the New Orleans area. And our podcast got national attention from the Be Loud podcast cohort that I'm in, teacher fellowship. So it's been a whirlwind. And so with that, I'm testing out podcast equipment. I've already had some stuff here in my current studio, but now I'm setting up for my YouTube, honey, and the podcast studio. So I'm playing around with different systems and tech setups, but I do realize that I need a big monitor and really fun, pretty keyboards. That's another, that's how these girls be on TikTok. I'll be watching it all day. Oh, my battery down? Oh, girl, we gotta charge her. They'd be like, "This is the new Ula." Anyway, there's a new one that has like a little screen right here. So we're gonna talk about tech tools over there at the Fashion Coast. If you're interested in that, let me know. And I think I'll just keep doing lives on here and just keeping that just publication driven unless I get an audience. I need to like plug my girl up because she's about to go down. She about to go down. So yeah, that's what I was doing. I said, let me go live. Why not? Before the Arctic blast hits and I have to like be underneath my heated blanket. So welcome in if you guys are popping through, lurking through, come say hi. I'm just setting up my equipment. I'm working on all things the Maven Tech Group. If you guys don't know, my business is Maven Tech Group, and I recently opened up my consultancy, making it a full-time strategy for me, which is Opulence Consultancy. And if you guys are interested, if you have a lifestyle or you have a lifestyle private label licensed brand in any space, but I specialize in the fashion space, please send me a DM. You can go to opulence.com, and that's spelled OPUL. Wait, let me make sure I spell it right. OPULNES, opulence.com. That is where you can find me. You can book a consultancy. I give free discovery calls, 15 minutes. And if you guys have a business, you can click my consultant package as well. And then coming up, we have some really cool events, and that's why I need to get the studio created. Because we're gonna have a traveling studio, but we're gonna have this is the headquarters. So we'll be doing a shuffles workshop. It's gonna be called the Opulence Masterclass, and it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be free. It's gonna be sometime in February. I'm looking at February 16th. And it's gonna show you like how I mood board my business strategy for my clients as well as for me and my business. So it's really fun, really colorful. We're gonna play around with some Pinterest tools and some tech tools and some cool tech stacks. So if you're interested in that, please send me a DM. I'm gonna be posting below. So make sure you're following me on both. Something that really cool happened. I was nominated for Tech 30 for Don't Live Ain't Black. That was a surprise before Christmas. Hello. Let's see. I also got the MIT Hackathon Mentor application submitted, done, and approved. So that was cool, and it kind of like segues into my purpose is to still like do what I did before, but have more concentration when it comes to dealing with lifestyle brands, like and doing. That's what I did. I worked for manufacturers and fashion, intimate apparel for years, and I know the business in and out. And I just kind of want to be able to share my expertise with current entrepreneurs who have the following and the bandwidth and needs guidance. And so with that, I can pour into my Maven Tech Group, which is for enthusiasts and students, and help them prevail in the fashion tech space. So I'm in the midst right now of creating a website, which is revamping my portfolio site, as well as my offerings, and kind of put it in one central place. For years, I've been known for the girl who represented the brands, but now I'm representing myself. And that's probably the most important and biggest project I've ever had to endure over my 25 plus years of working in corporate. So, and also working in this year in the education space, it has really tested my skill set, my temperament, and my therapist. So, with this project coming to a close in specifically May, if not sooner, I'm just trying to pivot myself into the right light. And the kids have taught me so much. They have actually helped me propel into this agency. They have helped me create a fashion tech club, which I wish I had in school, in college, and high school. They have showed up on Discord in our private community where it's a safe place for them to create and talk about while avatars are not like made of girls of color, the diverse global group, like where's the Asian girl, where's the Indian girl, where's the multilingual, multicultural girl, where's the Asian Spanish girl, like where's those avatars at? They're not represented on Roblox. Are they created on Meta? How can we create them? Shout out to my friend, Boss Leo from Diamonds Resilience. She's been helping me every week create a fashion challenge for my students and helping them thrive, donating her time. She's also at the MIT Hackathon. She's amazing. Follow her. Merlana has just been amazing since the day I even like cold emailed her, if that's what you want to call, about XR. And then, supportive people like Dominique Wu, who gifted me an amazing like discount to take her course in spatial design, which I'm wrapping up. And then stuff I want to do on the tech side, like really studying for my tech exam right now. And it's just blossoming. So I'm here. I've been behind the scenes busy. Behind the dashboard was a scene I created when I think it was like me and my sister at Starbucks, like up the street from the school that I'm consulting with. And we were just running it. And we had a really cool wallpaper behind us. And it was just a really candid moment. And so I'm very blessed to be working with my sister in the same building, working with amazing directors helping diverse learners. And these spaces are not just inclusive for normal ed, these are going to be for diverse learners. I'm working on a specific fashion project for my diverse learner girls. I'm working on a workshop I just talked to my dad about where a lot of these kids don't have computers, they don't have clothes, they don't have food, they don't even have a stable home. And so, how can I create something that is lasting impression as things come to an end for them and they have to rebuild? And they don't always have the resources and support as I or someone else. And so, I want to create this little mini store market in my sister's classroom. She's got to give me the classroom for 2 days. I'm gonna make the most amazing visual merchandise and display. These kids, if you have clothes or something you want to donate, I'm gonna make it into a little mini store where they can shop. They can learn how to count. They can learn how to scan. They need to learn life skills, and we're about to put this into fruition. Maybe there'll be a field trip to a really cool thrift store and they can get something, but I want to prepare them to shop and style and dress and be able to show up because these children are highly functioning. They can do tasks and they remember a lot of amazing moments, and I want to make them one of them. So, if you guys want to help create this market for me and help me, you guys, if you have anything to donate, let me know. DM me. I'll probably do like a really cool post. I will set it up to where I could be shipped to the school and I can just set it up and create. We already have like a rolling rack from my mom's salon. We've got furniture in there. Like we're gonna make it plush and lush. I want these kids when a child specifically asks me, Miss Coleman, what size do you wear? I really need some clothes. I ask you because I really like your style. She don't have to like my style. You know what I mean? I was like, so not only am I gonna, provide, how about we open this up to allow children that are in need that maybe don't have the courage to say, um, and then also offering beauty services. Like some of these kids can do eyelashes and makeup and hair, and they're just getting away from that in the education system. Like, oh no, you need to be a consumer, not a curator, a creator, innovator, an entrepreneur. And so there's so many opportunities out there that people get opportunity fatigue. There's grants, there's lessons, they're stimulated all across the board. And when I was coming up, I didn't eat lunch so I can go on the computer and sign up for eluxury.com. It was the thought that I could plan and look and seek and be inspired. And some of these kids have never left the city limits of New Orleans. They've never seen anything beach, water. They've never been exposed to anything. And by you bringing them into a world or exposing them something on YouTube, you have propelled and set these. Yep. Oh my God, there's alert. You have set these limits for these kids, to go beyond. So I want to make my lasting impression at this institution very productive. So that's my vision. So as I sort and clean up today, I will be making little packages for kids. And then here's my little clueless moment, right? I'm going to be actually have a cybersecurity publication called Clueless. And it's all about kids who are interested in cybersecurity. I have one student that is ready. She's interested in all things computer science, cybersecurity. So she's my girl. And I love girls who code because they support all of these different projects and make it applicable for our girls. And then on Friday, I was asking one of my students about technology because I'm like, Miss Coleman needs some new tech. And I'm like, we call the boys who support girls in tech our allies. And he was like, Miss Coleman, I can help you. And then he was like, I want to learn how to code. And I was like, okay, I got you. And so now he's signed up for a class and he's going to be code. So even though Miss Coleman does not teach the boys, right? One thing I do realize I do have the resources. And if I don't, I'll find somebody who does. But I want to place these kids in the right section. So many times, and I had this on my Maven Tech, what was it, the Maven Tech Group website, which was like a mentorship like consultant for people, people who can't afford to pay. But so many times I see students, and it's really bugs me. They come to my desk and they say, "Miss Coleman, I'm interested in fashion." They're 11th and 12th grade, and I say, "Blank student, do you have a portfolio? Do you know what a portfolio is? What do you want to do?" And they say the same thing. "I want to be in fashion. I want to design. I like clothes." To be in upper level education and you tell me a very simple answer and you have never never drew anything, never made anything, you've only wore and consumed things, it's letting me know that there's a wrong messaging out there about fashion education and them taking away stuff like consumer science and, home ec. This is why. If you knew what it takes to sew a garment, you would know if you want to be in it or not. I did the same thing, even though I had home ec. I thought I wanted to design clothes that I thought was cool, and that only took me 1 year to realize that's not what I wanted to do at all. And then when I went to college for fashion merchandising, I decided I wanted to do fashion show production. Now, the caveat of that was that we had shows like Kelly, I think her name was, not Kelly Clarkson, but she was crazy. Kelly, she was in PR, she did fashion shows, she was chaotic and toxic. But I realized it was more of the production that I wanted to put on, the more of the curating, the imaging and the messaging, not really putting on shows, even though I did went on to put on 2 shows in my career, one in high school and one in my senior year of college or, you know, final year of college. But these kids are clueless to they're clueless. And a lot of times I don't like to be the bearer of bad news to say, "Hey, I wish you'd have came to me earlier in ninth grade." And I of course wasn't there all the 4 years, but, I would have guided you this way. But, now we have to be realistic, right? We have to cut the fluff. We have to be realistic anyway, but we have to be realistic about why and what is this important and why this is a costly decision. And we don't want to waste time because you're already standing against the odds, right? Let's look at your grades. These kids don't believe reading and writing and math are important. You need all that. You need those basic skills to do anything. So to say you want to cut fabric and you don't know what inches and centimeters, and to say you want to do a lot of things, you can learn these things, but there's a learning curve and there's something called hard work that you're going to have to put in and a little bit more muscle because you're behind. So that kind of made me want to educate people in a fun way. So let's have a little mock store where you're going to get something. First of all, you can't come down to the store. If you're in need, you're going to get it. But if you want to shop and you've not on the list of like, I'm going to question your grades. Let's look at your grades. You're going to get a ticket to come down to Mrs. Coleman's boutique, right? And then you're going to get to shop. This is your budget, right? These things are priced in a certain area. You need to add them up, add tax, you know, and then you're going to get change back, or you're going to scan this and you're going to get this back. If you want to own a business, is that an expense? I mean, we can really go deep into this whole mind play. My sister's amazing at calculating these things in her head, but I really want to do that, right? If you do like an ambush makeover, which I've been thinking, I used to love that show. When you snatch people and you just make them up. My sister's really good at doing hair and makeup, me too. But not that these children need to be made over. It's a confidence thing, right? What do you need to prevail for next year? You're going to a different school. What could we do to help you feel your most best, right? We have all of our mental health people there. Like, they do a great job. Like, you can send them there. But physically, mentally, is it a new hairstyle? Is it a new accessory? Fashion psychology play a lot in this, and so that's one of my specialties. So I really want to use my expertise to help these kids prevail themselves. And I have a lot of ninth and 10th graders that, because of what they've done here at this school, they've had the confidence, and that is beautiful. So enough talking. We're gonna get to work. Where's my other laptop? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, here it is. I have to hang pictures. I have to do everything. Everything. I hope it cuts down to the special parts when they do the thing. But I wanted to give this studio a different vibe. I have a few different, like, I think I'm looking for a gaming laptop. Clearly, I don't even know if this is going to work. We about to see. We about to see. And then I've been using a lot of like programming with my AI agents. I recently canceled ChatGPT Pro. It was really hard to train and it just wasn't producing results. So I'm playing around with Gemini and Claude right now. We'll see how that goes. Let's see if this actually works. Is this saying it's working. Oh, it's working. Some of these things are more compatible with PC versus no. I'm noticing that. And then I gotta get this. I remember certain things that people tell me, and then maybe we'll do like I don't know if it'd be like a work with me. Now this mouse not working. See, certain things work with the dual charger, and certain things it's like, nope. Okay, we're gonna do it. They want to plug it straight to the computer. Yep. All right. Yeah. So yeah, we're getting to the nitty gritty. All right. Let's see. And then we have Gemini here. Wait, Gemini is on this one. The problem is that I have certain things on certain computers. Yup. Okay. Let's go to Gemini really quick. I'm good on this. So really quick, tell you what we've got to look forward. Here we go. So really quick, y'all, we have some couple of things coming up. I just wanted to say before I get into the nitty-gritty, I just wanted to come say hi. It's been a while. We have the Shuffles Masterclass, which we're calling the Opulence Masterclass. Opulence is my proprietary product that I use for my clients, my framework, all the things. So if you're interested, please let me know. We're going to be doing stuff on, I want to say I like going live on here, but we're going to really heavily launch our YouTube. So if you go to YouTube /Santi Coleman, it'll all be listed, and we'll have some videos of some really cool stories and case studies of things that had happened in my career, and I'm doing them by my resume. So it's going to be really funny. It's like, that's how I organize it in my head. I didn't sign an NDA, so say what I want. No, but it's going to be really funny because the stories that I have for each company, there's so many epic stories. There's something I want to give a shout out to, which I'm going to dive into. Where's my book that I'm pulling from? This book, and I always give y'all books. We're going to put this on the desk right now. This is one of my favorite books. This is called Chronicles of a Fashion Buyer by Mercedes Gonzalez. And it says the most true adventures of an international fashion buyer. Listen, I have listened to this book on Audible or like audiobook. Yes, not Audible. Audiobook. You can listen to it on the library version. I got all the way to this section. I think I finished listening to it, but not reading it. And so I was reading along, and then so I'm at the part where it says this is the chapter called Godfathers and the Orphans. Okay. I'm gonna read you a paragraph. This book is so good. Mercedes is so cool. I hope to meet her in person at the Magic conference or trade show. That's how Godfather does it in his stores. I realized that we've been looking only at her shoes. Her shoes in general were a stark white with typical aluminum fixtures. The only decorations were posters of products that no longer had in store because they would sell out faster than they could replenish the POP's point of purchase. They also had a mishmash of hangers and other brand names on them. It seems that they were leftover materials from all the stores they sold wholesale. I mean, people say, books are going to be, not around in a couple of years. Well, none of that matters to me because, and look how cute my little bookmark is. It's about the globe. But this book, has prepared me for what opulence is today. Listening and reading about Mercedes is like being the only woman in a Chinese factory and like watching these kids and, like speaking up about unsustainable practices and stuff in the fashion industry that's just dead wrong. And like Ben, this book was published 2018. I had just got back from London for my fashion trend forecasting internship with Journey Wary. Like, she had already lived this life. You know what I mean? And she's a woman of color. Love that. Like, I mean, there's some funnier chapters up in here that I was like, she says this is her story. She says, a few years later, I did get into NYU on a scholarship. And like many first generation Cuban immigrants, my parents had high expectations that offered me a few choices. I could be a doctor or could be a doctor. As someone who has severe dyslexia, that was never going to be easy to have. Nonetheless, during my first year of school, I volunteered at St. Vincent's Hospital and realized that a life of a doctor was not for me. And then she goes on to say she worked for her uncle. Here she goes. She goes, my mother encouraged me to go to work with him each summer so I could report all the scandals back to her. Even though Uncle Manolo didn't like children much, he welcomed me as long as I stayed out of his way and made myself useful. Right? And so he was in the garment. Let's see. Uncle was a garmento. He was my mother's brother. He never married. He was a big fat guy with polar opposite of parents. She's funny. He gambled, he womanized, drank too much, spoke like a truck driver, made the Sopranos look like kindergarten teachers. My mom, on the other hand, was a kindergarten teacher and a real church lady. So, I mean, you could imagine, like, and it's funny because my Cuban aunt, uh, T. Laura, is, she's my rock. You know what I mean? So, we met in retail, and then she became my T, but she has watched me in this build all this stuff, like from college, working in retail and management, leaving there, following my journey, doing all the things, and then like me reading this book. This was 2018, like she published this book and it was already written. So my goal, y'all, is to read this entire book, amongst other books I have to read. There are going to be news about the fintech industry, which I think I shared with you guys. That book I'm reading. There's also a lot of things and people I left in 2025. So you won't be hearing about them. But The Fintech Feminists by Nicole Capperson. We have a little bit of like interaction on LinkedIn. That's dope. You're going to be hearing me talk about RJ White, who's in the Roblox space. She's amazing. She has a new game on Roblox called Ramble. Go check that out. Shout out to my girl Mary Lee who helped me. She's a cool UX designer. If you're looking for a UX product designer, let me know if she's available. We're both looking for work. She's amazing. She put me on Gemini, showed me how to prompt engineer that thing and use things with my planetary alignment. What else I'm using? The Channy app, y'all, is amazing. If you guys haven't heard of Channy, Nicholas the astrologer, she put me on game. What else? What else? There's so many tools. I'm using a batch content. I'm using Substack. to produce my newsletter. But I'm using stuff like Buffer and Medical to help me propel this thing. So if you guys know of any other tools that you want to share, please list them below. I'm going to get back to work now. Thank you for your time. I hope everybody's safe in the Arctic blast, the storm. We've got some rain here, and the storm is coming tonight. So while the power is on, honey, and while we have good vibes in the atmosphere, we're going to get work done. So sending lots of love and light, y'all. Peace.